guys.
No.
No, there's no one there. So, just got back from training. It's been amazing. I'm just gonna have some brekkie now. And then we're gonna get ready for this YouTube video.
Okay guys, so first of all, when you start your YouTube channel, of course you have to record videos and you have to look presentable. Is this presentable? No. So what am I going to do? I'm going to jump in the shower. This of course I'm not going to record because otherwise by tomorrow I'll probably have around 1 million subscribers. And we don't want that, do we? So once I do get a shower, I'll get back to you guys so you can see the before and the after.
Doesn't it?
Hi everyone, I'm Jess. How are you today? I'm quite good myself, thank you. So, I suppose you're here because you haven't got a clue on how to start your YouTube channel. Hopefully you will learn quite a few things which will help you create amazing videos. The question is, how did I end up on YouTube? Well, one day in lockdown, of course, on the other side of the world, I wanted to make some money. So I decided to look up how to create activities. This way I could sell them on teaching platforms. Not only this, I also wanted to grow on Instagram. This way I would drive new possible students to my website. What happened? So the thing is, when I went onto YouTube to find, sorry, that's my pug breathing. You probably hear in the video. So back to what is important. What happened was, when I was looking up this information, I found this YouTuber who was talking about how much money she made on YouTube. And I was like, oh my God, why would I want to grow on Instagram when I can do this on YouTube? And this way I could get even more students and maybe make some cash, of course, when I became very well known, which isn't the case at the minute. I have all my notes here. Very important, guys, when you're doing your YouTube videos. Ooh, get paid for it this hour. Okay, so bearing this in mind, I created a YouTube account. Well, this way I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, really 3, because people would get to know me, which means they would buy lessons, I would grow on YouTube, and I would get paid. And of course, attract possible students towards my website, chachoelad.com. Just in case you've not heard of it, there you go, you can always go, look it up and learn English or Spanish. You've also got some activities there if you wanted to learn some bits and bobs. So like I said, I didn't have a clue how YouTube works, so I had to learn everything from scratch. I do have a friend who is an influencer. Okay, she gave me some amazing tips, but the rest I had to learn myself. How did I do this? Well, of course, on YouTube, because we learn everything here. So one of the first things that I did learn was that videos had to be more or less between 10 to 13 minutes long. Of course, this would be for the future when you actually start getting paid. And why is this? Because they can fit more adverts in the video. So I thought, well, why am I going to be wasting time creating 5-minute videos when I could create longer ones and use all of these videos in the future to get paid? That was amazing, yeah? But oh my God, you don't know how hard it was to do that first 10-minute video. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about for 10 whole minutes? This is impossible. I'm never going to be able to do this. I did. The question was, what am I going to talk about? And now it's like I create videos which probably last like 20 minutes and it's like, Jess, calm down, love. No one wants to watch your 20-30-minute videos. In the end, you start creating these really long videos and you're like, all right, let's cut that down. But I can say that once you do start writing and recording videos, it does get a lot easier. You feel much more comfortable in front of the camera, and all of these new ideas keep on coming to your mind. Different ideas, of course, that you can associate to your niche. This term I did not know either. What I do have to say is that in the beginning, I thought people would just sit in front of the camera and talk for 10 minutes straight, and I was like, oh my God, how do they remember all this by heart? It's impossible. How do they do this? I thought they recorded everything in one go, but of course, when you're doing it yourself, you're like,
No way. These people ain't actors and actresses. They can't learn all of that. They just cut, and bring a nice, beautiful video together just like this one, hopefully. Okay, so what can we find in YouTube videos? Well, there are people who talk about absolutely everything. So maybe one day you find a YouTuber who you like quite a lot and who is talking about something you're interested in. For example, creating a YouTube channel. So you think, oh my God, this video is amazing. I'm going to subscribe to their channel. What happens? Suddenly you see a video which talks about how to cut spaghetti. Another one, how can you cut your own hair? So in the end, it's like, okay, why have I subscribed to your channel? You have all of these random videos. I was interested in this topic, but the rest I don't really care about. So this is why it's very important that you have your own niche. You know what your niche is, what you want to speak about, what you want to focus on the whole time. Because if you're going to have all these random ideas, these people would ask themselves, why would I subscribe to your channel? What do you have to offer? Okay? But if you focus, for example, like myself, on becoming a YouTuber, which is quite new for me, of course. I think this is my first YouTube video. By this, I mean talking about how I became a YouTuber and so on. Then I also talk about being a teacher, because that's what I am. English and Spanish lessons I do, and also about becoming an entrepreneur, because all of these are connected. I have created my own website. So I can talk in my videos about being a teacher, I can teach a few lessons, and then I can speak about becoming an entrepreneur or creating your own website and becoming a YouTuber, because this is like another business as well. So in the end, they're all associated. So for example, if you were interested in watching my videos, you'd be like, okay, I know what to expect from Jess. There's going to be lessons, she's going to be talking about becoming an entrepreneur, and also about YouTube tips, tricks, and so on. So if you're interested, subscribe. Also, something that you should bear in mind when you are creating your own YouTube channel is the importance of lightning of the light and editing. Although I do have to say that I do everything on my phone. When I first started, I saw many YouTubers who had these incredible cameras which would cost like $1,000, $600, these amazing ring lights, and you thought, bloody hell, you spent all that money to create a YouTube channel. I thought famous people use those to do modelling and all that. So, very important that when you first start off with your YouTube channel, don't be spending all the dollar, because you're going to have none left. The thing is, in order to be able to get paid, this is going to take quite a long time. So you don't want to be spending money which you're not earning. So, like I said, just use your mobile phone. Loads of YouTubers do this as well. Use your mobile phone, and for example, in my case, I bought a ring light off Amazon. It was like $60, and it does its job. In the future, if I become famous or very well known, hopefully, I would probably invest in a few different products, maybe a better ring light or a decent camera. But at the minute, this is what I'm working on. So you should do the same. You don't want to be spending. With editing, I use iMovie, which was already on my laptop. You have all these different apps which you can pay for if you wanted to. I suppose they do a better job. But I'm quite happy with iMovie. I do what I need to do. Maybe in the future, like I said, if I wanted to invest in something, I would do that. I didn't have a clue about editing. I was like, how do people do that? Like Photoshop and all that? No idea. And then of course I saw videos on YouTube, like, oh, okay, let's practice. So I got my video and I started cutting breaths, overlays, color correcting, and then the more times you do it, the more you get used to it, and then you just do it automatically. It's like easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I do have to say, of course, I'm not the best at editing or lighting and so on, but I'm still working on it. I am sure I am better than what I was 2 months ago. I've got to show you this pug. She's so cute. Can you hear her snoring? I know we've got the other two outside. I'll just quickly show you. I'm dragging this ring up. There's the cat. There's Izzy Wizzy. Hello, princess. Are you on the camera? Are you going to be a famous girl like your mum? So here's little Lollipop. She was at the door. She's waiting for my mother, who she is obsessed with. But for now, you can stay here, right, princess? And Roxy, you looking at your sister? Hey? You want to say hello to the camera, Lolly? Hey! Go bubbles, come on. So, Roxy, let's get back to work. You want to come up here with Jess? You come up here, princess. You want to be in the video? You want to be a famous girl? Sorry, guys. She's not in the mood today either. That's strange, isn't it? All right, another important thing when creating your YouTube channel. Thumbnails. They have to be spot on. To be honest,
I don't think my thumbnails are amazing, but like I said before, with lighting and editing, I'm still working on it. And I'm sure in a few months' time, I'll be like, okay, this is how I want my thumbnails to look like. But at the minute, it's just like, let's try this and that. This thumbnail that you saw on my video is the reason you are here today. You thought, this looks interesting. I like this thumbnail. Or maybe what was written on it. Or maybe the title you found interesting. And you decided to click on my video and watch it, okay? So here we can see, if you have a good thumbnail, people are going to click on it. If it's not that good, why would people watch it? It doesn't look appealing. It doesn't sound interesting. It's like the cover of a book. Why do you choose this book and not that book, okay? Let me see. So very important that you put a lot of thought and interest, effort into it, as this will make the difference. So like I said, it's not only the image being shown on the thumbnail, but also the text. And this, of course, will get the viewer's attention. So if it says, I don't know, nothing, or, hey, I am Jess, people will be like, okay, and who are you? But if I say, hey, Jess here is an entrepreneur, how did she do it? I'm not sure if that would get people's attention, but maybe. You understand what I'm trying to say, yeah? Don't start barking, okay? So maybe what you could do, yeah, also very important, when you do create the thumbnail, make sure the writing, the text is on the left-hand side. Why is this? Because sometimes on YouTube, when you're watching videos, you have all of the videos on the right-hand side, and sometimes the right-hand side is covered by like a black text or something. So you don't want all your text on that side, otherwise people won't be able to read it. So bear that in mind. Very important. I learned that as well. Nice big text, nice and clear, make it nice and colourful, and get people want to watch it. So use the title of the video in order to express as much info possible about the video. Other things I take into account when creating my videos is writing all of my ideas down. As you can see, I have a whole notebook here. And I've only been doing videos for 2 months, okay? So I always like writing everything down in order to have everything organized and always know what I want to say in each part of the video. Instead of course trying to wing it, see if everything works. And then you're gonna watch the video and think, oh, I had to say this, I forgot to do that. So no, write everything down and this will help you once you have to record your video. It sounds easy. Come in, baby. You wanna be in the video? These dogs don't love me. Okay, so also very important that you feel very comfortable in front of the camera. As you can see, I am very comfortable. Why is this? I haven't got a clue. No. I think it is because not long ago I started teaching online. So it's like, oh, there's somebody on the other side of the screen watching you. I was like, okay, I'm fine with it. Although some people do suffer a bit more, they feel shy or they don't feel comfortable enough in order to speak in front of a camera because they think people are going to laugh at them. But to be honest, I don't care what people think. And if they don't like my video, well, I'm sorry, love, but go and watch another one. Yeah, just, you know what I mean? If you like it, great. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. Can't do anything about that either. So yeah, you have to have a strong camera presence because people will notice if you feel uncomfortable. Imagine, let's see, yeah, for example. So I am Jess, 29 years old. I like playing football, watching movies. Okay, so you can see the difference. Uncomfortable, very comfortable, strong camera presence. People don't want to see that other Jess that they just saw. They would feel awkward themselves or uncomfortable, like, oh, this girl doesn't believe in what she's saying herself, so why am I going to believe it, okay? So that is why it is very important to believe every single word you are talking about and feel comfortable in your own skin, you know? So what you could do, maybe record yourself on video a few times until you see a few things and you're like, okay, this I would like to change, or maybe my posture, or maybe I should speak in a different way, or maybe I should sit in a different position. Just do that, try that out, and then you can decide, okay, I'm ready to do it now. Or no, let's do that again. Also, apart from writing everything down, I would write possible topics I could speak about in my videos, because you might think of something now and then forget it. So I have my notebook, just this one here, with all the different topics I could talk about. Maybe you could get some ideas from YouTube, ask your friends, do surveys. This I do quite a lot, and I get some good information out of those. So try this out, okay? So what I did once was I stopped teaching for a whole week because I wanted to focus on creating these videos, as I wanted to have quite a few videos prepared in advance as I was coming back home to Lanzarote, and I didn't want to do anything when I got here for the first 1 or 2 weeks. So I decided in Australia I'm going to work my butt off, record loads of videos, edit loads of videos, and have them ready for when I'm in Lanzarote. I can just upload them, and that is it. I don't have to stress about creating videos. Now, of course, you can see I'm recording one, so this means just you've run out of videos. Alright, but it's always good to have a few videos ready in advance, so you don't have to be stressing out just in case there's a problem or something's happened and so on. So, very important, this I heard every single YouTuber saying, be consistent. And it's true. Why am I saying this? You can get to a point where you think, is this really worth it? Like, for example, I've been doing this for 2 months and I've been uploading almost 3 videos a week and I've got 58 subscribers, and it's like, okay, this isn't working for me. But no, that's what happens. That's the difference. You have to be consistent. Keep on uploading these videos, and one day YouTube will decide to promote your video. Promote? I can't get the word right. I was thinking about that last night. Well, put your video out there basically, and people start watching it, and as soon as a few people like you, they're going to subscribe to your channel and watch the rest of your videos. And of course, all those videos that you did upload 2, 3, 4 months ago are still waiting for people to come and watch them. So the good thing is, it's not like Instagram where you upload it and it disappears after 24 hours. No, those videos are there. So people could come and watch it weeks later, months, or even years later. So that is the good thing, to always have those videos ready, waiting for people to come and watch them. Also, very important to upload at least once a week. Like I said, I usually upload 3 videos a week, but because what I do is I talk about a certain topic and I do it in English and Spanish. And also I upload a lesson which is in English and Spanish. That is why I do 3 videos. I try to create videos which will work for Spanish speakers or for English speakers, so everyone can understand more or less. And like I said, very important that you're consistent, because once you do get those subscribers, they're going to be waiting / expecting your video. So don't let them down. Also very important, I have it here. I heard someone say this in a YouTube video, I can't remember who it was. But it said, focus on what people are looking for and not on yourself. Of course, I'm not going to be talking about me. Oh yes, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm intelligent, I'm amazing. No, people are not interested in that. People want to learn something from you. So what can you deliver? Okay, what can you teach these people? That's what they're interested in. So, of course, your videos would have to either be educational or very, very entertaining. Then once you start getting views and subscribers, you can start thinking about applying for Google AdSense in order to get paid, affiliate links, sponsorships, etc. I'm not there yet, so I'm not going to speak about that. Also guys, last but not least, it is very important or very helpful if you use TubeBuddy, which is a browser extension that connects to your YouTube channel, and it's an SEO tool. So it basically helps you rank better on YouTube. So your videos are put out there and people start watching them. By this, I mean that it shows you several steps in order for your video to be better. For example, the title, the tags, thumbnails, all of that. I do believe that every creator does have this. So I will do a video on this, as this one's quite long already, okay? And I do not have much time to speak about it. I don't want to chew people's ears off. But I will speak about it in another video, as this is very helpful. It helps me quite a lot with my video. The thing is, I would upload videos thinking, oh my god, this is amazing, love it. And then it would have a score. So you had from 0 to 100. Of course, you had to get to 100. And my videos would score 15, 20. I was like, seriously? I thought it was amazing. So of course, they tell you a few steps to follow in order to have a higher score. If you are going to create a YouTube channel, don't be forced to do it thinking, oh my god, I want to do this to get money. That doesn't work that way. You've got to actually enjoy what you're doing. You have to have a lot of time, because you have to think of what you're going to speak about. You have to write it all down. You have to record. You have to edit. So it's not easy. It takes up quite a few hours. But if you really enjoy it, go for it. Alright guys, so I do hope that this video is quite helpful. If so, subscribe to my channel. I'm sure you can learn many more things. And I will see you next week with my TubeBuddy channel, TubeBuddy video. See you later guys. Bye bye.